Hello everybody, we are going to talk now about dividing exponents, okay? Remember when we multiplied exponents, what did we learn? We learned that we add. So guess what happens when we divide? We're going to subtract, okay? So now, you probably learned and your teacher would show you that, and accurately too, that this is really x to the 5 minus 3, which becomes an x squared. All that's great. Okay, what I want to show you, and remember, I work mainly with people who, maybe didn't get it the first time and needed another way to look at it. The way I want you to see it is a subtraction problem, but what we need to do is we subtract the 5 and the 3, but this is where people mess up. They forget what side to put it on, okay? You need to put it on the side with the bigger number. So this just becomes an x squared over 1, because this one goes away, is just an x2 on top. Now this one technically is a y to the 3 minus 5, which is y to the negative 2, which is 1 over y squared. That's the correct way to teach it, okay? But here's what I want you to see. What I want you to see is that this is going to equal another fraction. I see division, I just subtract the exponents, but I keep it on the side with the bigger number. So I'll go 5 minus 3, but I have more on bottom, so I write it on bottom. Now, some people will give me that as an answer. However, remember, you can't have a denominator unless you have a numerator. So you need a placeholder, and you do that with a 1. So whenever everything is gone on top and all you have is an answer on bottom, please make sure you always put a 1 on top, because you got it, all right? So now let's do this one right here, and I'll do my answer down here. We'll go down on this one, okay? So now the first thing I need to do is I need to look at those coefficients, those big numbers in front of the letters. And I see 15 over 5. Well, if you saw 15 over 5, what would you do? You would just go 15 divided by 5, and you'd end up with a 3 on top, wouldn't you? Okay, now let's look at the x's. x3 on top, 2 on bottom, subtract them, keep them on the side with more, and there's more on top, and I'm left with 1. That means x to the 1. Now I have a y on top, I have 4 on the bottom, I'm going to be left with 3 on the bottom. We don't have to worry about the pluses and the minuses and all that. Just do the division and just put it on the side that has more, okay? Let me put a couple more on here and I'll show you a little trick with the y to the 0. All right, let's look at this one right here, okay? And we'll go across. Just like we do order of operations, I see I have an exponent in my numerator. Let's just do that and let's not worry about any other part of the problem, okay? So if I square everything, when I square the 3, I get a 9. If I square the x squared, I get an x to the 4th. If I square the y to the negative 3, I get y to the negative 6. And I'm just going to copy a 9x y to the negative 1. Here's what I would do. There's a couple different things you can do. First of all, I see 9 over 9, and I know that they're just going to cancel out, okay? So now I just have my letters left. Now, I would like to see these. What you could do, it's accurate to do this. Have y to the negative 6 minus 1. Add a line, change the sign, y to the negative 7. You'll flip it underneath to make it y to the 7th. If you like what I said and you follow, cool. If you don't, let me show you maybe an easier way, but it will take an extra step. We're going to go x to the 4th, and I'm going to flip, let's just do this, and the x on the bottom, and let's just flip these guys. Y to the 6, y to the 1, okay? And then that right there, once I flip them, I'm going to get x to the 4 over x to the 1. I'm going to subtract them, keep them on the side with more. And this one, I'm going to subtract them. I'm going to keep them on the side with more. And that, my friends, is going to be our answer. Okay? And so that would be how we would do this one. Now, let me show you that whole. Let's go x to the 0. X to the 0, is that not the same as x to the 1 minus 1? Is it 1 minus 1, 0? Well, what would that look like? That would look like x to the 1 over, if I had x to the negative 1, x to the 1. And what does x to the 1 over x to the 1 equal? 1. Okay, so that's just why the x, anything to the 0 power would equal 1. Okay? So there you go, my friends. That's what we do. I have 3 worksheets, and if you watch me work them out, I think that's going to help you even more than seeing it on the board. Sometimes the board is great to learn, but when I'm sitting there with a student one-on-one working out problems, that's when they really learn. And I know we can't really do that online, but we sort of can because I'm going problem by problem on those worksheets. So I'll see you on the worksheets. Remember, maxtutorials.com. Let's do it.